Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to create a snowman card using a couple items from Pretty Pink Posh, and they're new to the shop. We're going to start off by doing a little stenciling with the Snowfall stencil. I did do a refill on my Pixie spray, and so we're going to go ahead and spray the back of our stencil, and then we're going to set it aside, just let it do its tacky thing, bring in the craft mat, and then some Distress Oxide inks. I wanted a bright and cheery card today. I'm feeling a lot better, so I thought we'd break out some of my favorite color combinations. Yellows and pinks blended together are so nice. We're going to start off by blending the bottom of Bristol Smooth cardstock with Wild Honey. And I'm kind of going at a little swerve because this is going to be our background, and I do want to add a snowbank. And so I'm trying to create a shape that will go along with my snowbank. Next, I'm going to be using this is new to me, first time I get to use it. It's Kitsch Flamingo. I've had it for a while, but I didn't label it, so it was on my shelf, and I forgot I had it. But this is the first time we get to use it, and I love the Kitsch Flamingo with the Wild Honey. These two blended together are such a pretty color combination. I think this is probably going to replace Worn Lipstick, but we're going to ink blend in the middle here, again, kind of creating a little curve, and then we're going to top it off with a Festive Berries ink, kind of blending all three of these together in between each section. I am going to frame my card, so I'm not worried about the bottom or the top necessarily. Just want to make sure that these are ink blended towards the middle. I had to bring in some post-it note paper so I don't get my fingers inky. But after we have all three blended together, I'm not going to add any water to it because we're going to go ahead and add our stencil over the top of our panel. Now this creates a beautiful snowfall effect, and to do that I'm bringing in my Glitz glitter gel, and every time I use this it always reminds me of like a facial scrub. I want to just rub it on my face and do a little facial with it. I don't know why. I guess the texture, because I'm so used to Ranger's texture paste that this is like gritty almost, but it does have a fabulous sparkle, and I don't advise anybody to do that. Please don't take it like I use this as a scrub or anything, but but it does create a beautiful background. I covered my stencil. We're going to carefully remove it from our background, and I love the way this turns out. So pretty. This doesn't take too long at all to dry. I do want to go along the edges so we don't have no points here. But I love the different sizes of the snowfall there. While that's drying and my work surface is cleaned up, we're going to do a little bit of die cutting with our Snowman Shaker. This is great for shaker cards, but I'm not going to create a shaker with it today. We're just going to use it as the snowman. And my little buddy, he's been just pacing the desk today, so you'll probably see him again. Okay, let's separate these. There's the hat, there's the 3 buttons for the body, and then the eyes and the mouth and the nose are all one piece. I'm going to die cut out my snowman with white cardstock, and then I'll use the buttons and the snowman piece and die cut that out on the inside as well. And then I also die cut out my hat with black cardstock. I did go ahead and take black cardstock and die cut out the body one more time, only because it's easier for me to just put a solid body behind my snowman here that we die cut out those button nose and eyes and on his belly there. It's just easier for me to do this rather than piece all those little dotted detail to them. But the nice thing is if you do want to create a different smile or put 5 buttons if you want, you can add them instead of die cut them out. So my black cardstock is behind my snowman now. I'm going to take my markers and color in the snowman's nose here, and making sure it's the right way, we'll just use a couple colors of orange. Now for the hat, there is some stitch detail on it where the hat band would be. So I took some pink glitter cardstock and just die cut out that's why my hat, the pink hat, looks kind of wonky. I just wanted the band off of there. So we're going to trim away the top and bottom of that funny looking hat there. So we won't need the eyes, but I did add a foam tape behind my nose and pop that up for a little bit of dimension. So my snowman's just about done. I am going to finish off the hat. Again, we're going to trim off the top of the hat and the bottom. And we're just basically cutting along the stitched lines. And then we can replace this on our black hat for a little extra sparkle. Just add some glue. Okay, wants to slide. So our hat is finished. Now I'm not sure if I want my snowman to wear the hat or if I want to put it off to the side. So we're not going to add the hat just yet. Okay, next we're going to use our Copic markers. I used 3 different colors for my snowman arms. I used a E31, an E35, and an E39 to add like a little wooden detail to those little tree branches. And then I'm also going to take a RV10 and rosy up the cheeks of my snowman. I think snowmen just need rosy cheeks. And so he's basically done. Now the inside body of my snowman will pop out. Again, this is made to be a shaker, but I'm going to show you. I'm just going to tape the back later on to keep it one piece. I created a frame using some square or rectangle dies. Now I'm taking a piece of cardstock and just freehanding a snowbank. And since our snowman is on the larger side, I think I'm going to trim off a little bit from the snowbank, and then I'll go ahead and adhere that behind my frame. Once I adhere my snowbank behind my frame, we're going to go ahead and add foam adhesive behind it. I have to cut some thinner strips to go along the frame portion. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the release paper. Before we adhere our frame, we need our card base. So I'm going to grab that, and then just instead of putting adhesive on the background distress panel, I'm just going to put it on my card base. And then we can just line this up on the top. Kind of makes it easier with the texture that's on there. And I have a little bit of the white area opened, but technically you really kind of don't need to straighten it out because your frame is going to do that for you. But I guess it's just a habit to want it nice and even. We're going to go ahead and add our frame right over the top now. And I love these colors. It just looks, with that golden wild honey on the bottom, it just looks like a fun background. Okay, now I'm kind of playing around with the placement. I didn't know if I wanted to pop up the middle of the snowman or put him on the inside of the frame, but I think what we're going to do is just layer them together, flip them around, and then I have some yellow masking tape. I'm just going to use that tape and then secure the outline of my snowman to the inside of my snowman, just creating one piece basically. Once we have this done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some foam adhesive behind our snowman. I know we're going to need to double it up, but I'm looking for my sentiment, and I was going to stamp one, but then Pretty Pink Posh has a brand new Let It Snow die, and I know it was on the larger side, but I think I can get away with putting this on my card today. So I die cut it out with white cardstock, and then we're going to go ahead and add glue behind it. It is such a pretty font, and then it goes really well with the snowman. So I'm going to squeeze it in and make it fit. I think this would be a great card for a slimline card. Since we have texture in the background, I did use an acrylic block to help weigh that sentiment down so it can grab on my panel there. I'm going to go ahead and place my snowman, and I had a piece of foam tape to the top of my snowman's head. I was going to add his hat, but I just changed my mind on that, so I removed my foam tape. And for the snow, we have the S overhanging and the W overhanging on our snowman. So I added adhesive to the S and to the W. I also had a little holly leaf that I had colored in and stuck behind my package of the poinsettia corner stamp. So I just took that, I'll list it down below, but I just took that, colored it in, and added that to my snowman. Okay, next, my snow, you can see it kind of gets drowned out, so to fix that, we're going to add some more sparkle. So using the same sparkle cardstock that I used for the banner of my hat, I die cut out the snow from my Let It Snow script die, and then we're going to offset it a little bit and add that right over our existing snow. That way it just stands out a little better, and I was happy with the way that looked. But that's my project today, guys. Oh, I did add glossy accent over my little carrot nose there, and also on each of the holes that we die cut out, just to add a little bit of dimension. But thanks for joining me. Have a lovely day, guys. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.